guys, good morning and welcome back to my channel. This is Navina. Tellare we've done Venkateswara Pooja and now we are going to a Bommala Koluvu. So our house owner organizes this every single year and Mata. And every single year he has like a really different concept. Like last year, I think it was something about what do I say about the ragas and about the music, and that before year it was something about the rivers or something. Sorry guys, I don't remember. I'm just gonna apply moisturizer. That's it. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what it is gonna be about this year. So yeah, literally that is all. I am gonna do nothing for my face. That's it. And I'm wearing this super pretty pink sharara. And for the jewelry, I have just my just my chain. And also Bommala Koluvu, like I've never seen any Bommala Koluvus before. Like this is my first exposure to it. So this is really ouch. So this is really pretty and it takes a lot of effort to do this because it takes so much of thinking, executing. It's a lot of work. So let's go. I'm really excited. What else do we need for my hair? I'm quickly gonna do like a clip because that is the easiest way. That's it. It's very simple, very simple. I'm gonna put couple of pieces onto the front just so for that dramatic effect. Ready. Watch. Gonna put little bit of lipstick. Cute guys, I'm all ready. I was also recording on my phone for Instagram, that's why it was a little too much, but yeah, that's it. Let's go now. Chalo. మా టెంకాయలో మాకు పువ్వు దొరికిందనమాట. లుక్ చూపిస్తాం మీకు.
మా టెంకాయలో మా పువ్వు కాదు, అంతా తినేసి లాస్ట్లో నీ భాగం.
ఏది ఇంతే వచ్చిందా నాకు? లాస్ట్ టైం ఇండియాకి రోడ్ పైన అమ్ముతా ఉన్నారు. ఇట్ వాస్ సో నైస్.
అది ఎక్కడ?
బాబమ్మ వాళ్ళ ఇంటి దగ్గర
తమిళనాడులో.
యాక్చువల్లీ తమిళనాడులోనే అమ్ముతున్నారు. చాలా బాగుంది. Those people didn't like my outfit, so I changed it. So now I'm wearing this super cool black dress. Let me show you. Wow. Cute. So come on, let's go now. It's all ready. Now let's go. I think on the way we have to get something for them, like some flowers or some fruits. And then we're gonna go. I'm really excited. I think last year we had something like about the songs and ragas. And I missed 1 year and then I attended twice. So I think they've done 3 times. I've gone twice and I missed once. Let's go. Okay, so we have reached Asta. We need to quickly get some fruits and then we'll start. I think ఏదైనా apples and oranges అయితే తీసుకుందాం. That should be good enough. So come on, let's go quickly. గైస్ మా తమ్ముని చూడండి అసలు ఏం చేస్తున్నాడు. అది బాగాలేదు తుషి, ఏంది భయంగా ఉంది నిజంగా. ఒక రవ్వ రా పోదాం, టైం అయిపోతుంది. ఫ్లవర్స్ అన్నీ చెక్ చేసాం. నథింగ్ ఈస్ గుడ్. దే ఆల్ లుక్ వెరీ like dull and వాడిపోయినట్టున్నాయి. దట్స్ వై వి ఆర్ నాట్ గెటింగ్ ఎనీ ఫ్లవర్స్. సో గెట్ సమ్ ఫ్రూట్. సమ్ ఆర్గానిక్ బనానాస్ క్విక్గా ఒకటి తీసుకో సరిపోతుంది. గివ్ ఇట్ హియర్. యాపిల్స్ కూడా తీసుకుందాం. తీసుకో, స్వీట్ యాపిల్స్ తీసుకో, బాగుంటుంది. బట్ యాపిల్స్ బనానాస్ తీసుకుంటే ఇంకేమైనా తీసుకోవాలా? అదే బిల్ వేసుకుని పోదాం. కమ్ ఆన్ తుషి, లెట్స్ వేవ్ బ్యాగా. అయిపోయిందా? షాపింగ్ అయితే అయిపోయింది. Now let's go quickly. We are getting late, so we have to rush. నాకు అంత బ్రెయిన్. Guys, we have reached. Let's go now. జనాలు ఉన్నారు, మనం పోవాల్సిందే. Crowded ఉన్నారు.
This year theme is dances and musical instruments from around the world. So I researched 706 instruments and 454 dance forms for this year. So this is a traditional arrangement. Srinivasa, Padmavati, Shazad, Manedev, Vittakramal. And then standard arrangement, Dashavatara, Ashtalakshmi. And this row, if you see, you have Narada at the very end. You have Veena, which is a stringed instrument. And then he holds this one, Narayana. So that's called an idiophone. So something like that. And then cordophone is a stringed instrument. And then Nandikeshwara has a mridangam. He's the main person who has a mridangam. So that's a percussion drum instrument. And then if he is busy with something or Shiva has sent him for some duty, then Ganesha is on standby to do the same thing. And then Krishna has a flute. So that is a wind instrument. So you have a wind instrument, a stringed instrument, a percussion instrument, and an idiophone. And these are the only 4 types of instruments in the world globally. Across all cultures, across all countries, there are only these 4 types of instruments that you can have. And then Saraswati, of course, and then different Ganeshas with different instruments in his hand. And then these are all different things that Vishnu wears or holds, like the Shankha, the Sudarshana Chakra, the Kaumudaki, the Gade, the Vanamala garland, Kaustubha, jewel, the Shranga, which is the bow. So in Vishnu Sahasranama you will hear Vanamali, Gade, Shanga, Shanka, Chakra and Nandaka. Vanamali, Gade, Shangi, Shanki, Chakri, Chanandaki. And so you hear that. That's what this is. But for some people, these are also the 12 Arvars, and the Arvars teaching were compiled by Ramanujacharya, and there's a whole sampradaya, there's a whole philosophy on that Vishishtadvaita philosophy. So we explored that world in 2023. In 2022, we had classical, Carnatic classical theme. So the Holy Trinity, Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshitar, Shama Shastri there. And then you have Purandaradasa, who gave the structure and form to the Carnatic classical music. So, and then you have all these musicians over there on the floor. Now, sticking to the gods and goddesses, Shiva is called Nataraja, and the king of dance. And Shiva he gave a project assignment to a person called Tandu. And told Tandu, I want to dance, give me a structure for this one. So Tandu was given that project. So what he did was, he came up with 108 postures. So hand and feet movement, it's called a Karana. So
Thank you.
So it's called a Karana. So 108 of these. And these Karanas are, you can see here. In Tamil Nadu, Chidambaram Kovil, in Chidambaram temple, you have all these 108 Karanas. So each of these are postures. So if you take any 2 Karanas, and if you go from this posture to this posture, or this to this, or whatever, then you have it's called a Matraka. Like that. So the 2 Karanas is a Matraka, and there's a equation like that. So you can have 3 Karanas, it's called a Kalapaka. Different names are there. But more importantly, 2, 3 or 4 Matrakas together is called this Angahara. So this Angahara, and there are 32 of those. So what this is basically a sequence of dance movements that you can go from, say, these 4 plus this one and that one, this one and this one. If you put them together and you change from this pose to that pose, and you have this. It's almost like how we used to have cartoons in a book over here, and then you flip the book and it will come like a video. So think of it like that. So these 108 Karanas, when you mix it in the right combination, this one, and whenever we listen to the word Tandava, there is a specific thing that runs in people's heads. So it is, so this Shiva Tandava Stotram, this is the first thinking that people have, and the Raudra and an anger, fierce dance of Shiva, and that's how people visualize. But actually, if you see, there are different Tandavas. Shiva performed various Tandavas. Not everything was anger. And if you see, these are the different Tandavas that Shiva had. Ananda Tandava. So whenever you buy a Nataraja idol and it's standing, that's likely to be this posture. There's no anger there. And this is Sandhya Tandava. So in the evenings he danced when he was free and relaxed, and so that was an evening Sandhya Tandava. Then there's a Uma Tandava. He's dancing with Parvati. Parvati, Parameshwara danced Shakti Tandava. Then Sati died and he was very angry, and that because of that anger there was a Samhara Tandava. There was a Tripura Sura he killed, and there was Tripura Tandava. So there are different types of Tandava, Raudra Tandava. So multiple Tandavas are there, but in order to perform these Tandavas, you need to know that Karana and the sequence and what that is, and that is how it is. This is at the God's level. At a human being's level, what do we, if someone wants to learn a musical instrument, any of these, or if they want to learn dance, any dance form, then the book to read is Natya Shastra. That's your first book. So there are 2 volumes of Natya Shastra, and then if you just randomly open any page over here, you will have lines like this, 5-6 lines on each side. Rasa. So how do you move the eye, head movement, eye movement? So this book is called Abhinaya Darpanam. Abhinaya Darpanam is got, for each posture, it has got a, and that is the description of what to hold, which finger, what should be there, how do you hold the wrist position, how do you hold the pose, all that are there. So like this, students learn this, they try and see how much they can remember. At least some of them they do for the theory and for the exam and all of that. So that is that part. Now, if you want to learn the summary of all of that, then there are 2 lines here, and this is the spirit of it. Spirit, the heart, the soul of Natya Shastra is given here. Rasa, we'll see each word in detail. Rasa, Bhava, Abhinaya, Dharma, Vritti, Pravritti, Siddhi, Swara, the Vadya, and Gana, and Ranga. The Ranga Mancha is the stage. So if you see, if you have all these qualities in a performance, there's a dancer, there's someone playing the instruments, there's a singer, and they talk about a flow of music. They say the music should flow from the vocal cord of the singer to the body of the dancer, through the strings of the veene to the percussion, to the mridanga or tabla, and it has to reach the audience, and then through the audience, if they feel happy, then that will reach God. So that's the flow. If you can imagine, every person there has to contribute and align themselves to achieving that goal. So for the audience to feel one with the performance, the performer has to evoke that emotion. They have to perform, with that emotion, so that it feels good. So we have these 4 lines. Yato hasta tato drishti. So however your hands are moving, so focus on that. Yato drishti tato mana, and yato mana tato bhava, yato bhava tato rasa. So it's that emotion that you have to emote and perform. How do you do that? There are 3 different things, 3 words that we have to remember. One is Natya. Natya is basically a Nataka, a drama, a storytelling of a Purva Katha. So there's some Ramayana or Mahabharata or some Purva Katha that you are telling the story. Storytelling part is the Natya. And without a bhava, without a abhinaya, just pure dance, like Kathak dancers, they just move their feet like this very rapidly. There is no story there. There is no expressive dance. It's just a pure dance movement. Or Jatiswara in Bharatanatyam, in every classical dance form, they have a small piece where they're doing pure dance. That is called Nritta. Nritta is pure dance. If you put the Rasa and Bhava and you make it expressive dance, then it is Nritya. So Nritta is pure dance, Nritya is expressive dance, and Natya is storytelling. So those are the 3 words. Now with just these 3 words, if you see Kathak dancers, Nritta is more, pure dance is more. They won't move around the stage too much. Kuchipudi dancers, they will draw with their feet, they will draw different akara, or they will stand on a plate and they will dance. They will use props. There is nritta, there is nritya, so there's more to it. Manipuri dances, if you see, dancers in Manipur, so they wear large, costume. So that is called aharya. Aharya is costume. Kathakali, costume. So costume is more in Kathakali. Costume is there in Manipuri. Shringara and Lasya, the feminine dances, are there in Manipuri because they are gopikas who are dancing with Krishna. The male dancers will jump around and they will have their drum and they'll jump around and all that for Manipuri. But the female dancers have focus on Shringara and Lasya. Mohiniyattam, compared to Kathakali, which looks like this, same state, Mohiniyattam is a lot more plain. It's very simple. So if you see here, Satriya, Odissi, Manipuri, Kathak, Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Mohiniyattam, Kathakali. So for each of these, when they perform, there's a certain way, there's a certain sequence in which they perform. So if you take Bharatanatyam, for example, Allaripu, Jatiswaram, Shabdam, Varnam, Kirtanam, Kriti, Padam, so Tillana, and then Mangalam. So there's a certain sequence. For Kuchipudi, there's a certain sequence. Ganesha Vandana, and then Melavampu, and then Jatiswaram is there, Tillana is there, so Shabdam. So some things overlap, some things are different. So each one of them have their own elements of Natya Shastra, elements of Abhinaya Darpanam that they have picked. Okay, so we got to this one and we said Rasa. So now let's look at Rasa. Just like how from a seed you have a Vriksha, Bija in the Vriksha, then from Vriksha you get Pushpa and Phala. Like that, from the Rasa you get the Bhava. So that is what is written over here. So what does that mean? If you have any of these, so Hasya is humor, and Karuna, okay, is a is a Navarasa. Raudra, this anger, if you want to show. And then Veera Rasa, Hanuman is meeting Ravana, for example, that is Veera Rasa. It's a brave, anyone in war, a Veera. And then you have Bhayanaka, and then Bhibatsa, and then you have Adbhuta, if you want to show surprise. How do you show that? So for each of these, there is a color coding also that they have. So Shringara is green, like this, so green and red and yellow, and all these color codings are there. Natya Shastra lists 8 different rasas, and then the 9th one was added, and now we use Navarasa. So all this is 2000 years ago, more than 2000 years ago. It was documented, and it was there in practice, but it was documented. So from the rasa, you have the bhava. So there are 8 emotion. In that book, if you see, they've told you exactly how your facial expression should be, what your hand movement, foot movement should be, and even if you don't feel that emotion internally, you get into that posture, the audience will they will feel that emotion. So that's called method acting. If you can't laugh, then show your teeth, tighten it over here, like that mechanically they will tell you, and then it will look like you're smiling. And then you have to breathe this one twice. So they're literally telling you which part of your body you have to move internally and externally, so that it will appear as though you're smiling. To that level they've written. It's a crazy level to document in words. There are no diagrams also there. That's just the text. So Rati is love, then Hasa, Shoka, Krodha, Utsa, other Satvika states. So if you want to show, this is Kerala, Thayyam, this is Bhutakwala, Kantara. They both look similar to Kathakali, but this is the classical format and the other two are folk. So like that, Sangeet Natak Academy decides what is a classical dance form or not. Nothing to do with Natya Shastra. Anyone in India, across all these states, for every state you have dances. You have Garba, Lavani, Lesim, you have Ghumar, all the dances in the Dollu Kunita, Veeragase, comes Polata, the Puliyatam, Apra in the Prayatam, Kavadi, Mailatam, Kummi, ella irking. So all our dances are here. Andhra Pradesh to ఇది ఏంటిది బుట్టబొమ్మ ఇది సో ఈ అలా చాలా ఉన్నాయి అక్కడ వీరనాట్యం dimsa and all that. So with all those, what is the dharma? The dharma is, are you performing for the popular dance form so that you get more tickets and more people watch the performance, or are you focusing on the natya dharma where you're trying to work on your craft, you're trying to get better at this, so your audience need to be someone who understands that, then they'll appreciate it, otherwise they'll switch off. Keep doing something for 25 minutes and I don't know what they're doing, I will switch off. But if you make it interesting to me, but most of you here have seen an example of someone trying to interpret Sangeeta in their way, the way they saw it, and then you will see another artist who doesn't agree with that and says that expression is wrong, that what you did is wrong, it's rubbish, right? This is how you do it. So there is a, and then you're like, okay, you watch both of it and actually, yeah, this one makes more sense. As an audience, they're forcing you to choose who is a better dancer. So all of us have seen this scene. I'll show that scene now.
I spend hours searching for the next hot thing.
So now I'll tell the line, I'll tell the meaning, and then you watch the dance, and then we'll see what his expression is. Panchabhutamalo, the 5 elements are in the mukha, and the aharya, the costume, are the 6 seasons. So with the 6 seasons, Aru Rutuvulu, Aharyamulai, the 6 seasons as the costumes with the 5 elements in their facial expression, Parvati and Parameshwara are dancing. That's the line. So now see her expression. So she is keeping her hand like this. Panchabhutamulu, she is saying this one. And that's her dance. Right? That's her interpretation. So for Aru Rutuvulu, she is just keeping some other posture here, nothing to do with season. So this, and then he gets so angry and he says, I will show you how it is to be done. This is his interpretation. He is also doing Bharatanatyam, starting. Now you see, he keeps pancha over here and this other hand is pointing to that. So he's forcing you to see pancha bhutamulu, and then he's showing you air, water, fire, everything. And then he's saying Aru Rutuvulu, and he's keeping Aru over here. So you're seeing Aru, you're seeing Aidu, he's making sure you see pancha and che and all that for the different seasons. See, Aharyam costume. And then he says it's nothing to do with, even in Kathak you can show the same thing. So even in Kathak, this is how, same line, same expression. So it has nothing to do with that. It is which page of Natya Shastra have you read. If you read the right page, you will get the right expression. And then Kathakali also, same line, within their rules, within their sampradaya, he is showing the same line. Even here he shows pancha, he shows 6. And then, that's the summary of Natya Shastra. We had no idea this book existed, this detail and all that. Super duper hit scene. Anytime you watch this, you feel it's a fantastic feeling. Performance can be enhanced with just this one if you spend time and work on your skill, work on your craft. So that was the thing. And then there's another, and if you think this itself is too much, there's 7 volumes of Sangeeta Ratnakara. Each volume is 700 pages, 500 pages. The first volume is only to do with Swara, Nada, the notes, Alap, ke bare mein, and that's it. This book is in 15th, 16th century. It is the last common book between Hindustani and Carnatic. So after that, Hindustani and Carnatic split. New things came into Carnatic, new things came into Hindustani. Some elements from here were retained in Hindustani, some elements were retained in Carnatic. So the 2 styles started varying. The Gharana changed, the Rag and Thaat came, Melakarta and Janya Raga came. So the 2 styles emerged. But this is common to all. First book, summary is that. Second book, only about raga. What are the different ragas? What are the vadya? Another volume only on veena, mridanga, flute, but basically chordophone, aerophone, and this. So full details of that. Mind-numbing detail for each of these. They'll teach you where to get the material, which wood is to be used, how do you tune it. If something goes wrong, how do you look after your instrument? And musicians, they are very possessive about their instruments. They've tuned it, it works for a certain climate, they bring it to UK, and or say if you take it to Dubai, you take a bamboo flute to Dubai, keep it in your car boot, next day you have to perform, it will crack. Or the violin will expand or contract, the wood will, like every door will not close properly. That happens to instruments. So do you bring it in a flight? Do you take care of it? It's a nightmare. I mean, sometimes it depends on what you're doing. If you have jaltaran, bowls of water with different level of water. What if the mic falls down and that water spills up? Your shruti is gone. Then you need more water to tin 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 tin, and you have to set it right. So if you have a male singer and a female singer, the mridangams are different, the flutes are different, the scale, that octave it will not reach. So the instrument is different, or you need two instruments of that. So that is a challenge. And then mridangam players, when they are 6, 7, 8, they learn mridangam, they're performing, they do well, and then you're giving kacheri after kacheri and you become established. And what if you put on weight and you get a paunch? Mridangam will start wobbling. So then you can barely, you have to be fit as well. So these are all different lifestyles, different discipline that people need to have depending on what you have picked. So flute is still okay, but violin, now say if you take a piano and you have this one, and if I press this, it is say sa or C, it's always that. I don't need to know how to play that. If I press that, that note is sa, fixed. Life is simple. Violin, this is horsehair by the way. So at 50 degrees, that will start reacting. The sound will be different. So you have to keep this here, violin, and you're playing. There are no markings here. So depending on where you keep it, you should find your sa. And that will take practice. Just to find that sa at every single time itself is a practice. You'll keep sliding here and there. You have to go like this, but it can go like this. So you'll go like this, you'll brush your teeth there. So initially, so you have to get used to that. So every instrument has its own mechanical challenges, and they have to match that tada. They have to match the laya. They have to match the bhava. They have to match the rasa, and then they have to hand over and work along with another performer. So that is why, if you see in general, we are all taught to respect the artist. Respect the artist because there's a lot happening. They're trying a lot to try and be convincing. And if it doesn't work, let them correct it. And for the performer, they'll say, forget that and move on. Don't start thinking about it. It will affect your performance. Just go on to the next step. Continue. Keep the show running. So it's all these things. If you have internalized, if you have gone through this, and then this is a whole book on Nritta, whole book on Nritya. 6,000, 5,000 pages, line by line I read for this theme. Fascinating journey. So that is India. And now if you see around the world, these are all the national instruments from every country. So all the stringed instruments, some of them are stringed instruments. Saraswati Veena is here for India. ಈ ಮೃದಂಗ ಥರ ಇದೆ ನೇಪಾಲ್ಗೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಫ್ಲಿ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ್ಗೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪೈಪರ್ ಇದೆ ಸ್ಕಾಟ್ಲೆಂಡಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದೀಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. Why have they picked a stringed instrument? Why have they picked a drum? In Africa, the master drummer controls the program, and they have talking drums. Talking drums ante in India they used to have these drums, and they would wake up everyone, get everyone's attention. Suno, 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 kelrapo, kelri, and then they would tell the message. the Raja has told this one Agnya, on this one. There they don't. They just keep beating it. That itself is the message. So like that. And then in a symphony, in an orchestra, you have these in the Western set. When you get up, you will see there are first violin, second manodharma wise, which means it feels in their head they have infinite possibilities. It is finite here. It is 700 pages of possibilities. It will feel like infinite. So it's just too many. Whereas there it's dolls. So that, and then here some of the musical instruments from Europe, from Middle East, all of them are there. Different instruments, different things. And then there's one page there on notation.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇವರ ರೀಲ್ಸ್ಲಿ if he does small details about it, I think there are many people, right, without the critics irukanga இல்லையா, without knowing all these books they do whatever they want, they talk, but knowing this
Knowledge is definitely.
And every next year, 1 month, कुछ बातें नहीं करते, slowly start to see it.
Romania.
By the time she sees it, it's too late. Detail record
எனக்கு இப்போ எப்படின்னா நீங்க அந்த மணிக்கு it was
So that's it, guys. That's all for today's video. As you've watched, the Bommala Koluvu was so nice. Ashwin Garu was so kind. He let me film so I could show you all what hard work he's done. This is just 1 year and he does that every single year with different concepts, and it's just, he's so passionate and we're so lucky to be and so blessed to be able to witness that magic. Well, yeah, that's all for today's video, guys. I will also link his YouTube channel, so please go please go and show some love, because he's genuinely incredible and he can speak like 16 languages and he knows around like 100 languages. He is crazy. He is so intelligent. He's so wonderful, guys. I'll just leave down his channel. Just go show him some love. He's very intellectual, so you'll learn something out of it for sure. Well, yeah, that's all for today's video, even though it's very late. But happy Dashera, and I hope you guys also enjoyed the Bommala Koluvu. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and all that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.